Dusty Futon is a Big John Entertainment production. Go to BigJohnEntertainment.com to sign up for the Big John Entertainment newsletter to receive updates on the Dusty Futon and other Big John Entertainment productions.
Welcome to the Dusty Futon. I'm Tyler, the host of this episode, and with me is Spicy Kim, my co-host. Say what's up.
Hello. What do we got? What do we got on deck today, Mr.
Today
Tyler?
we're going to be talking to the Roni Lee group, more specifically just Roni Lee. She braved the weather to come all the way down from L.A.
And this episode is brought to you by Backstage360.com, the musician's media. The Dusty Futon is a musician's podcast bringing you the raw musician and what they bring to the table. Backstage360.com works hard to bring you even more with creative write-ups, professional interviews, and stunning photography. Full disclosure, I do contribute write-ups and reviews and conduct interviews for them occasionally. Backstage360.com also assists with the promotion of events, products, tours, new music, and they provide an overall insider's peek into the impedimenta of the backstage. Backstage360.com. They truly are the musician's media.
Jules, her bass player, unfortunately didn't survive the trip. Well, she lived, but she didn't get to make it here to record. But Roni, she was able to fill us in with kind of where she came from and much, much more. She was kind of like an everything pizza, you know, it just showed up at your door and you're like, wow.
It was extraordinary, really, wasn't it?
It was good, and she was fun. She was gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. She's my lady crush.
Anyway, all right.
Not going to lie. Love me some Roni Lee.
Also, make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Google, or Spotify to get all the new episodes right when they are released. And if I sound funny, it's because I have a lozenge in my mouth. If you are a musician or you know a musician who wants their own podcast episode, hit us up. Have them email us at admin@DustyFuton, and we're going to get you a seat right here on the Dusty Futon.
Oh, yeah.
We can't wait to seat you.
We want you to have a loud voice because this is the Roni Lee Show after all.
It is.
Yes. Welcome to the Roni Lee Show.
No, it's the Roni
Get the slide
Roni
whistle.
Lee rock
Right?
tips.
Yeah. Hand me one of those things.
Oh, look at this. We have props.
Oh, what the hell? Did you see that? She blew into the microphone.
Nice. Okay, you're
It's a slidrophone.
You have to go outside now.
You got a hot mic.
Oh my god!
See that? This is what we do.
This is the Roni Lee Show.
You might need another glass of wine, Roni.
I might need somebody needs.
You're
to
gonna
know.
get a fistful of information. Dun, 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 dun.
Buckets, raining buckets.
So what's going on? What's going on in the wonderful world of Roni Lee?
Oh, are we on? Are we talking now?
We are talking now.
I'm giving you shit. I know that.
Yeah. Well, she obviously harasses car salesmen in her
That's
free
good.
brand. That's what
By
she
the way,
does.
Honda, I'm coming for you.
Ooh, it's a challenge.
I'm coming
Watch
for
out,
you.
Honda. Here comes
I
Roni
tweeted them
Lee.
and they liked my tweet. So that's my first step.
Did you go to Poway Honda? Or just Honda
No, I
in
don't
general?
know. I just went to Honda. I don't know. Does it matter?
No.
No, because they all cost me too
Ronnie's
much money.
Ronnie's rocking tonight. So
I got a show tonight, so I
let's
don't
get
got time
moving.
for this
That's
shit.
right. Yeah, you got to go kill
she's got no
Larry's
time.
tonight.
She's going to take a
so.
pizza on the fucking go.
I am.
Roni
I'm
Lee.
taking a to-go cup of water with me. It's
Car bar?
Water.
Water. We're making
quotation
little
marks.
hashtags right now with our fingers. Hey, I'm a multitasker. That's I'm just multitasking.
if it works,
I'm
it just
gonna
works.
do it all night. I just have to do it all at the same time.
That's what she said.
Hey, now.
Not to you though.
Well,
Oh,
actually, I've heard those exact words said.
Have you?
Yeah,
Really?
but it wasn't about sex.
Okay, I was gonna say. Sounds exhausting.
Yes, it was.
I'm gonna be like, okay, we'll go ahead and start.
Yeah, have
because
fun. Start without me.
I'm gonna go because the pizza's here.
Exactly, right?
she's done. She's like, oh, we're good.
Yeah,
Whatever, we're good.
Me and
I'm
Kim
done
will
with
just
that.
talk for a little while
You know,
until...
that will segue into the thing that I don't have a mate. And one of the reasons why I don't is because every time I do, they're always like, well, are you going to keep doing this? You know, is this the thing that you were doing until you met me?
that's why I was doing.
Because don't I fulfill everything?
I
in
was
your
only
life?
doing all of this for you, right?
Yes.
To get
you
to
were
you.
just waiting for me to like show up, right?
That's it.
And
That's why you
so-
poured your heart and soul into music your entire life since you were a teenager.
Well,
that guy.
I sat in a booth at the Rainbow with Ted Nugent in 1978.
Wow, Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted. And Uncle Ted says to me, he says, so Ronnie, you play guitar, you know, pats me on the head figuratively.
How cute.
And I said, yes, I do.
He is very humble,
Very
Ted.
humble. And he says, well, you're going to get married and get pregnant, and that'll be the end of that. And I was so livid. I was like, fuck you. And I was spitting and I was angry. And he was exactly right. It's exactly what happened.
That asshole.
I know, fuck you. I got, hopefully I can say fuck on this because I've already
absolutely.
fucking said it.
We encourage it. Yes.
So, but here's the deal. I don't regret it one little bit. We had our early years, in the Runaways and wrote the songs. Now, by the way, none of us made a single dime back then. We've all made much more money since the 2000 year rolled by, and now it became much more profitable.
I just want to stop you right there because let's hear a little bit about your background,
right?
Where you began, and
so I was born small and in a
like a preemie.
No, I guess I was small, but I was always like sort of homeless in my whole life. Like I was like my parents kind of ditched me, and my mom went to prison. I had one of those rough, weird little lives. We'll skip over all the fun parts of that. Wait for the book, and. And at
that's not a bullshit. You're writing a book. You actually
I am actually writing, and actually
we'll
we might even skip right to just a documentary because people are too. It's like reading. Oh, that's so difficult.
I love reading.
At 15, I was in school in a foster home somewhere on the coast, and I just said I wanted to play guitar really bad.
Were you in Cali?
And no, I was in Southern Oregon. They just shipped me off somewhere, and it was a very, very small town, and people it was like Stepford in a weird kind of way. It was almost like Bates Motel. Honestly, if you see that show, it's so similar.
That's probably what drew you to it.
It was like all pot and hippies and Volkswagens, and I was not into any of that stuff. So I walked up to the principal's office, and he looked at me through the window, and I shoved a cigarette on the window and put it out, flipped him off, and I got in a van of this guy I didn't know, and I joined a band. It's literally like joining the circus, only with no actual clowns. But they were kind of
wow.
They were kind of clowns. They
had
just
guitars.
didn't wear makeup
They
unless
just
you
didn't
joined
wear
Kiss.
makeup. And I was going to say they actually did, so it was kind of like joining the circus. So.
At this point, did you even know how to play a musical instrument? You're just
I
like, we're just
said
doing
I
this.
did. I said I did, and they believed me. So here's the funny thing: I did get fired from that band because they said, you really can't play guitar. You probably should just pursue something else. And all that did to me was piss me off more.
Fuel the fire.
So I went and joined a show band with a jazz keyboard player who taught me music. She literally turned me on to Jeff Beck, which was at the time Blow by Blow was out, and I fell in love with that album, and I learned every song note for fucking note. Scatterbrains, Constipated Duck, Cosby and His Lovers, the whole thing. I was in love with that guy. So I learned that. She taught me the circle of fifths and theory and enough to get by on this gig because it was a great paying gig in Nevada. We were doing shows. I had to wear a wig.
I gotta stop you. Mm-hmm. Do you guys know Circle of Fifths? It's not a band.
No. It's a part of theory.
That's
circle
It's the part of theory class.
A circle of jerks. It's a
a little
whole
jerk.
different thing.
I just had to throw that in because it's a musical theory thing, but it is one of the most important characteristics of learning like a guitar and building any type of song.
Well, it's just it's important to when you're playing other people's music and you're doing shows like I was doing, and you got to read charts. You have to, and I really, really, really encourage, and I do mentor a lot of people because I have a record label, Play Like a Girl Records, where I mentor both really young artists and actually coming back to the scene artists. I don't have any criteria. In fact, you don't have to be a girl. You just have to play like one. So, we say it's not a gender, it's an attitude and all those things because, and of course, it's tongue in cheek. But I do tell people, I think it's great to know. Don't giggle at because I said tongue.
That's
No, I'm laughing because honestly, when I play the guitar, I literally put my tongue into my cheek. People notice it, and I don't.
I dig my toe into the ground like that, and people they're like, what are you doing with your foot? And I go,
twinkle toes.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, try to get people to understand that. I think first it comes from the heart and creativity. But if you don't know a little bit about your craft, like you can build a great house, but if you don't know how to run a buzzsaw, you have a very dangerous future ahead.
And a fucked up house.
A fucked up house, and things don't I can't build anything.
It's not up to code, especially in California.
I don't understand square things, and electricity is like a miracle to me. Like I think that when you turn it on, like there are little people back there, with lights with something. I don't
run really
They're on a
fast.
treadmill.
Run really fast. squirrels,
Lemmings.
I don't get it. I don't understand how light comes out of. I push that, and it's like a fucking
Look what Jesus just did.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you what. The first thing that happens is the power generated by the nuclear fission and the transfer.
Well, that's just great, Big John.
bullshit.
Here we go.
Bullshit.
Can we hear one of Ronnie's songs?
Can we?
Yes,
That'd be great.
please.
Which
Oh
one
my
are we
God.
listening to?
Ooh, I get to pick. Me.
You
Me.
do?
Yes, because I love myself.
Did you love yourself today?
Yes.
Now
I
this
did.
song, by the way, is not written by me. This song is written by a friend of mine, Biff Naked, and she's. I know that's her name. She's
Sounds like Ted
amazing.
Kennedy's.
She had
She
some.
should change her name to Buff. Naked.
No, wait till you see this. Just six. She's badass.
She is.
No.
And
but,
so
like,
roll the
yeah.
tune, man. You'll love it.
I can't get enough of this song.
That's chunky.
You left me like a broken doll in pieces as I took a fall for you. You dumb chump, you let me free falling like space junk, burning up in the atmosphere of life. Well, I might sound like a philosopher, but I'm a fool who's off a rocker. I let you in my heart that one last time. I've had enough, made up my mind. I'm gonna get up and out and wow. I love myself today, not like yesterday. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm gonna get my way. I love myself today, not like yesterday. Take another look at me now, 'cause it's your last look, your last look forever. Well, look at you, y'all, dropping your big red
That says fuck, by the way.
time fool, that's tough. 'Cause I'm on fire.
I can't get enough of this song, Ronnie. I love it.
Pumping me up.
Gonna step right up, spit shine my soul. I'm gonna be loud and proud and out of control. I love myself today, not like yesterday. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm gonna get my way. I love myself today, not like yesterday. Take another look at me now, 'cause it's your last look, your last look forever.
A great lyric right here.
I'm looking in the mirror and I like what I see. I lost the fear of a torture that's been eating at me. 'Cause being with you is like a hangman's noose.
It's so
Kinda like
heavy
that.
and chunky and point blank.
Dead man's shoe.
Like somebody putting a cigarette into your window and giving you the finger.
Shine my soul. I'm gonna get up.
Everybody now.
I love myself today, not like yesterday. You're dead, you're gone. I'm gonna get my way. I love myself today, not like yesterday. Take another look at me now. I love myself today, not like yesterday. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm gonna get my way. I love myself today, not
This is definitely an anthem of some sorts.
Kinda.
now, 'cause it's your last look, your last look forever.
Screaming guitar, baby.
Who's that guy on there? Guitar part.
It's a chick.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird.
I love myself today,
I know her.
I love myself today, I love myself today, I love myself today.
I love that song today. Holy
Oh,
shit.
man.
So much power. From what I gather, is a 3-piece.
Yes, we're a trio, and I work with Lynn Sorensen from Bad Company, the bass player, and Paul Rogers. He's the guy on that.
Pull.
Pool.
Launches.
And in fact, Lynn and I are doing another project right now. We've been working together for 7 years or so. And also on that recording is Jeff Cathan, also from Paul Rogers' band. So those guys and I have been a trio forever. They're actually from the Northwest, although Lynn is in LA now half the time. So half the time we work in LA, half the time we're up in Seattle. And I have a lot of different artists that I work with. Jules Whelpton is one, a local artist here. She plays bass for me all the time.
She's a badass.
SoCal. Yep.
I'm in love with her.
He's in love with her.
I'm telling you, she's
Line up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
But anyway, yes, I've been working with Lynn, and I'm a solo artist. This is another thing. I have Roni Lee's Rock Tips. One of the things I tell people.
Yes.
Figure out what kind of band you have. I am a solo artist. It's the Roni Lee group. It's not the Roni Lee group and everybody else that has an opinion group. Because
Right.
it's not... I mean, and I
You're
say
driving
that
the ship.
tongue in cheek a little bit. I listen all the time, but I have the final say because it's representing me and my music and what I'm trying to portray.
Right. It's your name.
It's different than having a band. If you have a band and you have a partnership, and I look at it like a business. If you've got a business and you have equal partners, everybody has a say. If it's your company and you're the sole proprietor and you're taking all the hit, you're taking all the risks, and you put in all the investment, it's your call. So if anybody ever gets a chance to watch Hired Gun, that movie on that show on Netflix, watch
seen it. It's
if you
amazing.
play in a band and you haven't watched that show, you can't even fucking talk to me.
It's fucking-
because
it's
that
cra-
thing is the music.
out of control. It's
Kenny
crazy.
Arnoff, who's my
Yes.
drummer on almost everything that I record these days, has got a featured time in that movie. And Alice Cooper, you see the rise and fall, or rather the rise and fall of Billy Joel and how he
Billy
treats his
Joel, and
people.
he
Wait,
got
he fell?
stuck.
Well, in the eyes of the players,
Yeah,
like
but Billy
originally
Arnoff
he
got
was
left out of the-
not Kenny Arnoff.
It wasn't
that
Kenny.
was Liberty. Billy Joel's drummer got left during the
They
holidays
wouldn't put
because
him on the
Billy
plane.
Joel might want to recline in the private plane, and that didn't leave room for Liberty to go home.
That's how powerful this movie. You should watch it.
But see,
Documentary, rather.
but in the beginning, Billy Joel was like, "If you don't take me, you can't. If you don't take my band, you can't have me." And you watched the change in his face. I mean, literally, you could see it. Anyway, that's not the actual point of that. Is to
Didn't mean
say,
to get off track.
figure out what your role is in the band, and do that role to the best of your ability. And for me, I have sidemen. Now that doesn't mean that they're expendable. Lynn and I have worked together, written together. He's now mixing and mastering our latest project together, and he's a big deal in my life. I've used him and worked with him. I've used him extensively.
Oh, I'm sure he enjoyed that too.
I love using him.
And I'm sure he does not mind. I'm sure.
No, we don't mix the business with the pleasure stuff,
Oh yeah,
But,
nobody does that.
Nobody
Never
does
piss
that
in your own
anymore.
pool.
No. Again, back with the dating thing. But I love working with different people. I've probably this last album I actually had 3 drummers on it, and everybody's pissed at me. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so hard to mix this." What do I know? I just love drummers.
You know your role.
And I always record in the same place. I record in Studio 2 or 3 at Sunset Sound in Hollywood because it has the best drum room in the fucking world. Don't even argue with me because I'm not going to accept any
Come at me,
arguments.
bro.
Just shut up right now. I don't
I know a
care.
guy.
I know a guy who can get a great drum sound in his bathroom, dude,
He's got
in the valley.
best.
Well, that's fine.
It's a closet in
But
his
let me tell
mom's
ya.
basement.
Yeah.
Okay, we just recently talked to a band who did all the recording within the gym in Carlsbad
Yeah.
or
Well,
something,
that's
and that
great.
changed my mind.
It sounded really good. It was weird.
Well,
Lift
and the thing
acoustics,
is,
bro.
everybody has their little secret to success or whatever. I just happen to love that studio. It has a lot of history for me. I'm from Los Angeles. I started in LA. I started in a band with Kim Fowley. I was in the first punk rock band in Los Angeles, Venus and the Razorblades. We opened the Whiskey up. Prior to that, the Whiskey's got a lot of transformations. It was a music hall where they literally did a go-go music, and then it became
Right.
like some sort of play scenario, and it not as in play like they do now, but like plays, some sort of a theater kind of thing.
Oh, yeah?
And then so we brought it back to music, and And then the Runaways, of course, were going at the same time as we were. So we wrote together a lot, and Joan and I, and
cool.
Sandy, and all of us. We were all the same age, like 17 at the time. And so I wrote some songs for the Runaways, and one of them, I Want to Be Where the Boys Are, became their mantra. They did it all on their tour, recorded it on their album, and then...
Wasn't that one? Didn't Kim Fowley kind of give you an ultimatum, like, write me a song?
Kim Fowley said to all of us, when we got hired, well, I got hired immediately, because at first I called him, because back then it was only with phone calls. There's no other method of
like a
communication.
payphone. You put in a nickel.
Yeah, I was in Reno in that show band actually, and I said, I'm a guitar player, and he goes, no, you're not. You're calling from a magazine. Click.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck you. And I pick up, I go, I'm a guitar player. He goes, no, you're not. He hung up on me 3 times because he didn't believe that I was a guitar player. Hello. And so he goes, okay, I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to let you audition for this band, but you got to be wearing the outfit, playing guitar when I walk into your apartment, which I then had an apartment on Gower and
oh, geez,
and Sunset.
really?
Gower and Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah.
Cockroaches were larger than me.
Anything on Gower, yeah.
They were huge. They could like fight you in the wall. They would raise up on their
That was
hind
my
legs.
commute to
I'm not
work. I
even
took a
kidding.
cockroach in every day.
Exactly. So, and Rick Derringer gave me my outfit because he and I were the same size. We still are. To audition for him. So I wore
Tell
this
me about your
silver
outfit.
spandex,
Yeah.
silver lame spandex, zip up the front jumpsuit that I wore like forever
Smokes.
after that.
Oh, shit.
So I got the gig. He believed me finally that I was a guitar player. I got the gig. Then we go to rehearsal, and he does this cattle call because he's looking for singers. And this was weird because he made people crawl on the floor. He goes,
Like, really
crawl
crawl?
on the floor like a dog. You know, he was. If you guys
It
ever
puts
see
the lotion on its skin.
if you see the Runaways movie,
God.
you see that guy portraying Kim Fowley. That was nothing. But anyway, he said if you don't write a song tonight, you can't come back. Said that to the whole band. Everybody had to write a song. I'm like, okay, I've never done that before.
You're like, damn it, I
Because
just
I've been
got the
playing
guitar.
everybody
Right.
else's music in a freaking show band in Reno.
Right.
We were doing like disco versions of the theme from Star Trek, and I'm not even making that up right now.
Oh, snap.
A lot of pea soup going on.
The 70s was a
We're trying to
different
open
It
time.
was a different time. Let's not even start with that.
Nope.
And
Gonna open up
you
for
said that
Miko.
out loud.
Oh my God. So I said, write a song. Oh my God. So I
Just
sat down and I went,
Kill me now.
Challenge accepted.
challenge accepted. And so I thought, well, I'm going to write a song about how I wish I didn't have to prove myself every fucking time I go anywhere. I just want to be able to just do what they do. I don't necessarily want to be one, but I would like to, just be in their club for just a minute, So I wrote, I want to be where the boys are. And then he interjected a couple of words because write a word, get a third in the music industry. And he took half the writing.
And there you have it.
And there you have it. And but and the Runaways loved it, and we all, it was our mantra. In fact, if you go to the Wikipedia on my discography, there's a lot of people who have recorded the song, and more people than I've ever known to have recorded it. Which, you know what? Another side note. Go do it. Take that song. If you're a band in Virginia and you want to record that song, just fucking record it. I don't care. Send me an email. Here's a lesson I learned. If you make any money, I'll know about it. Okay? Meanwhile, it's free advertising. I'm thrilled that you enjoy the song enough to record it. Drop me a line, say thank you maybe, but this whole I got to get my $3 is just not worth it. I'm always thrilled when somebody wants to record my song. And fast forward 35 years later, in 2009, the movie came out, and I finally made money off of I Want to Be Where the Boys Are.
Live audience.
The lesson is live long enough to see your song make you any fucking thing. You guys, of course, in your world, you'll be making Bitcoin off of it.
No, that shit's gone.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one. Not yet,
Okay.
anyway. Wish we would have touched it a long
And I
time
bought
ago,
some,
though,
but
kind of.
okay.
Sell
Anyway,
it now.
I love that, though. Just do it. Just record it. We should definitely get to another song that you recorded.
Can
Because you
we
did
do that?
record more than one.
Yes, there's a few there.
A few more.
Which one are we doing?
Ooh, should we do a Ronnie pick then? Should we?
Let's
I
do
think
more
so.
than enough.
Okay.
Here's another song that.
Did you read my set list?
What? Moss Enuffo?
Exactly. Montu, and I think that's a bunny rabbit.
Oh,
you got
yeah,
terrible
yeah, yeah.
handwriting, Big John.
There's some other figures on there.
Did you sneeze when you wrote that? I mean, what
Not
happened?
that one. The one below it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The slide of the pen.
Rock and roll, baby.
Right, so this is More Than Enough. What album is this off of?
This is off of Heroes. It's another song of me bitching about something. I don't know. It's the theme here.
It's a theme,
Just
yeah.
thinking underlying.
You know, I got so many
It's actually a song about being thankful, believe it or not.
Yeah.
so many fears, so many worries.
Is this you on the piano too, Ronnie?
No.
It's ringing in my
Hot
ears.
negative.
Way off.
But it's Rick Randall, who lives in San Diego, and he's an amazing artist. And he actually was
You
with...
got more than enough. How can you say yeah?
Love that little honky
You
tonk.
got more than enough.
He's a great pianist.
Did you say penis?
I did not.
I just lost my house, my car and my job. My friends are all leaving me. I just can't go on. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. My dog's in the pound. My paws in the ground. My face is a frown. Yeah. I just can't go on. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough.
The part where the drummers always forget to stop playing.
I got so many problems.
I think it's a
Around, I
forget.
go-
They just don't want to.
Exactly. I'm saying that nicely.
Shut up. So many worries. It's ringing in my ears. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. How can you say yeah? You got more than enough. You got more than enough. More than enough. More than enough.
Wow. So that certainly paints a bigger picture of who Ronnie is.
Yeah, that was Kenny Arnoff on drums, by the way.
You're not just a punk rocker. I mean, so when you come to a Ronnie Lee show, don't just let your hair down, but bring your dancing shoes too.
In fact, this album that we're doing right now has a Jeff Beck song on it. It has one of my favorite Jeff Beck songs, which is "Situation," and it's a new, it's a different arrangement of it. It's not exactly. You know, I'm not trying to bring back single-handedly 1968, but
You should.
Make it your own, you know.
Please.
but I'm doing other things in the future too. Which we're getting this album is called "All Dressed Up," by the way, which is another song that I wrote.
Coming up? Or
Coming
already?
up. This
Okay.
album is coming out. We're still in the middle of mixing and mastering it right now. We're battling that because everything that I do, I like to have super loud, as you can, I love in your face stuff.
Yeah.
And I have fired more than one producers because they're like, well, listen, make it safe so pop radio can play it. Nobody's gonna fucking play my song on pop radio ever. Can you hear me say that? You can see my lips moving.
I can.
It's not gonna happen. So I just want it to sound like how I want it to sound, how we sound, because I'm a live performer. I like that live sound.
Yeah.
I want that
It's
sound.
big.
That
You're big. Yeah.
It's certainly mixed
Sounds
really
pretty.
well. It sounds almost like you're right there at the show standing
Yeah.
in front of the
And
stage.
that's we go
Agreed.
for it. And even with this, I'm going to tell you, like with most people that record, I wasn't quite ready. It wasn't quite as what I wanted, but it was close. You got to call it eventually.
Yeah.
And this album too, the same thing. And so we're getting ready to do this. But the thing I'm excited about is somebody reached out to me. Tim Eaton reached out to me. He's been a producer in LA for God longer than me. Thank God, somebody's been around longer than me. There's Dirt, Tim, and then me, right behind Tim.
Where's the wheel fitted on?
Oh my God, I don't know.
It came out just before Betty White.
Just before Betty. Yeah, Betty and I were like hanging, and Robert Seabury, who's an amazing photographer, videographer. Check him out. He does all the stuff for NBC. He's taking pictures of presidents and their friends. And actors and Gaga and everybody. So he's the videographer on this project, and they reached out to me and said, we want to do something that represents women. I'm not a movement kind of a person because I sort of take the Mother Teresa approach. I don't want to protest things. I want to encourage positive things. So I'm more an encourager
We need
of the
more of that
positive
these days. I love it.
Thank you.
than somebody that's like, I hate you, and by the way, you suck, and it's okay to hate you, but that's not okay to hate you. And like, okay, who am I supposed to hate now? Because let me check Facebook because
Right.
you're going to let me know. So anyway, they said to me, hey, would you like to do a short film and get the shit beat out of you on camera? Not really, hopefully. And so I said, I think
on camera,
that
at
sounds
least. Jeez.
good. So we're getting ready to do a music video, and it's called Daddy's Home.
Oh.
And I'm taking acting coaching to learn how to get the shit beat out of me and walk away.
There's a class for that?
There's a class for that. Well, there's a class for
You're
everything,
like a
darling.
stunt woman?
So that's coming
I've been doing
out.
it for free my whole life. I can't see myself
No.
paying for something like that,
I know. Well, you're like, I'll do it for free. Okay? Come
So it's
over here.
fisticuffs you want, is it?
So do I hit you
Have
with
at
the
thee.
back of my hand or just the full palm?
Or is it fist?
Should I wear rings or no? That's the big question.
Wow.
So it's gonna be. I'm excited because I'm not an actress in the sense of that, but it's gonna be fun
Something a
to
little
have. And we
different.
have people that are involved that are super cool. And this is a kind of a thing where it's not just a girl that plays guitar, but it's more a girl that has something to say. Because I've been on the planet 61 and a half years, and I would like to. Yes,
Didn't see that coming.
I know.
We'll bleep that part out in the post.
Here's what I figure.
She's like,
At
fuck
this
it. I don't
point, it's kind of like, here's what I'd rather have people say. Oh my God, you look great for 61 rather
You
than,
do.
well, you look a little tired for 50. I'm not going to
Oh,
lie.
jeez.
Shit.
So-
Don't we all want to look like we had a
I
good
know.
night's sleep, for
Hello.
fuck's sake?
Right?
So, and honestly, if you do the math, I was a certain age. It's 1978.
It's not
Thank
difficult.
God most people suck at that. Because
Well, especially now, because
have to
when I
take
think
your shoes
when I think
off.
30 years ago, in actuality, that was like what the
80s.
late 80s. Yeah,
I know.
But I'm thinking like early 70s when somebody says 30 years
No,
ago.
it's exactly because the time is going like it's whizzing by, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So anyway, it's like I would like to, I really would like to be a mentor and an encourager and somebody that says, hey, I don't like this whole attitude of a lot of women do this in music too, but in music in general, there's a lot of jealousy and you got the gig and I didn't. And, oh, if you're successful, I can't be. And that's just not true. Because you know what? Here's the thing. If you take nothing else away from my interview today, and if you've listened that long, you're probably
It's not an
smoking
interview.
pot. Or whatever
You're
this
probably
is,
smoking.
the cast that we're doing. It's that, you know what?
it's not the couch. Okay, we're
It's
just
a
hanging out.
conversation.
We're conversating.
You've
Just
got,
talking.
we're just talking.
We're just talking.
Yeah. Sort of, yes. No, what I honestly, you want to just be, you want to have fulfilled something and taken somebody in your wing and left a good imprint on the planet, right? So
I think you've done that with a lot of younger artists and the
I
artists
try
on your
all the
label
time.
and stuff. I think you're very inspirational and very positive and encouraging to a lot of artists, boys, girls, men, women, whatever. Like you don't. It doesn't matter.
No, and the first thing
shouldn't.
I tell them is, it's not. There's enough room. Here's the
There's
primary statement is there's always room for good music.
I have to tell you,
always room for that.
That's our
there
goal.
is.
It's not like a piece of pie where, oh my God, you took the last piece of pie.
Right.
Damn you, fuck off.
Bake another one, damn it.
No, there's lots of extra pie.
I think that the second
I believe that one alone.
I have to say, I think the second time I saw you perform live, it was a couple years ago, and I'm like, I need a picture with her. Do you remember?
We do a lot of it, yeah.
And so
That's why I sell
like,
so much merch. People are like, I want to take a piece of that home with me. Now I'm actually asking them to take me home.
I got to say
she was in the middle of her set
Yeah.
on a song. She was singing. She was on stage, and I'm like. My husband's like, I'm like, I need a picture with her. He's like, I'm going up there right now. And he's like, okay. And so I jump on
the first
stage,
one.
and they stop, and we take a photo, and then she proceeds to finish her song.
Yeah,
her
I don't
set.
care. I've actually had people kiss me on stage, and that's a little unnerving. Don't do that.
No, I won't kiss you.
Like
Yeah.
mid-lyric, you're just like...
Yeah, no, I had a guy, I think he was coming from the bathroom.
Tongue?
and he
Oh, did he wash his hands at least?
I stood there like, oh, shit. What was that? We are going to Germany, by the way, in June. So every year we go overseas and tour. And again, I take a different band. I don't take any band over there. I hire a band over there, actually. So.
Oh, right. How do you get? How does that work?
Well, actually, most people do that, and
Yeah.
especially if you're a solo artist like I am. I'm using Randy Hansen's band that's over there this year. He's a guitarist up in the Northwest, and because it's cost,
Right.
and there's so many. The great thing about these days is there are so many great players everywhere. I send my files ahead of time. When I get there, most of the time I don't even have to rehearse. They just know it. They're like, oh, okay, that song, done. Especially freaking Germans, man.
They're on it.
You didn't see that. But I'm telling you, but no, the artists over there are phenomenal. Last year I had Mel Gaynor from Simple Minds was my drummer. I get some people that are just like over the top, ridiculously good. So it's not even fair. It's not.
Wow.
It's not fair. So. I'm going to hurt you in a second. When you're not looking, of course, because I'm like a sneak
right?
attack. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're gonna.
You won't see.
It's so cool to me to know that you can just show up in some part of the world and the song is
same
there
in
waiting
Vegas.
for you. Because for me, I've been in a DIY band where it's like I can't even get my own band to know the songs, let alone somebody halfway across
I'm
the
not
world.
going to lie. I have more problems at home than I have abroad because when the thing is, you put more effort into it and you find people that are capable of doing that. And sometimes you get maybe a little bit lazier in your hometown. You go, oh yeah, Bob. Okay, why don't you come over and do? And Bob doesn't quite ever listen to the material before he gets there.
I've dabbled into bass.
And I try, yes, bass. Yeah, I think I could.
Is that the one with four or
Four?
six?
Right.
4 or 6? It doesn't matter. Really.
Not quite a bass, but a bassoon.
Yeah,
There's bass in that.
It's deep. It's a deep sounding instrument.
It's deep.
So, no, I've had problems with that, and I get after people because I expect professionalism. I do.
You came to the wrong place then. Here, I don't know.
I
what you're doing.
know. I'm waiting for the pizza. It's the only reason I'm here. So
It's on its way.
But yeah, I do. Again, it goes back to that thing. I'm a solo artist, so I got a band in Seattle. I got a band in Las Vegas. They got the band in Europe. If I go to the East Coast, I pick up people there. But it's all about keeping a professional attitude, and I love to have fun. I love that irresponsible person in me. But honestly, in this industry in these days, you cannot let a single drop out of that bucket fall to the ground because you've got social media you got to manage. I just picked up a new endorsement yesterday. Got all the endorsers that I have. I got to take care of them and make sure that I keep up my responsibilities because they're keeping me in strings and guitars and pedals and straps and guitar picks and something else, amplifiers. So
Guitars.
PRS Guitars.
PRS Guitars.
We should start with that.
Plug.
Plug.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Always good to plug your
Nice.
sponsors.
Exactly.
I just got in tune guitar picks yesterday. Well, you have my underwear.
I do have her underwear.
Hold up. Let's talk about this now. This is the story we should have gotten into a long time ago.
Wait a minute. Back up. Put the frickin' brakes on.
The truck is beep, beep, beep.
Backing up. We're segueing to merch. It's a perfect segue. I sell probably the most merch at my show that I've seen anybody ever sell. And I'm
She's
not
a hustler.
bragging, but I am telling you that merch is the thing that the bands need to be really, really, really conscientious about or whatever.
That's where you make your money.
I make my money there.
Merchandising,
But it's not just that. Well, sometimes that's literally the only money I take home.
Also, she always goes back to the merch booth after she plays, and she's willing to sign it, whatever.
Hang out. Like, I'm a sweaty, ugly mess after I play, but I beeline to the merch booth, and I've seen a lot of artists beeline to the bar first.
Right.
See, the problem is you got to get somebody to go to the bar for you and bring that to the merch booth. These are the little things I'm talking about. Online, I don't sell a lot of stuff online. I'm not going to lie. It's just I don't.
No.
I do sell some, but see, they're not getting that whole they're not getting that experience. And since I'm a live performer, that's where I sell them. And so I sell shirts, and I do sell panties. I sell boy shorts that say "Play Like a Girl."
I got to get me some of those panties.
Oh, but lots of boys buy
You'd
them.
look great in those.
And it's disturbing that it happens. They're in red and black, and they say "Play Like a Girl" on the butt.
I can wear them to Aztecs games.
Yes. My bass player wears them on her head when we're playing. She's
Freaking
like,
Jules.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jules. We
freaking
miss
Jules.
Jules.
There
I'm
you go,
so
Big
happy
John.
she
she's
was.
been calling me for the last half hour.
She fell
probably should-
victim to what unfortunately happens in San Diego, rainy weather.
Rainy weather. She
Yeah.
got a little fender bender on the way here, so she's,
And that's why she's not with us today. So
been-
our hearts are with you, Jules. Thank
Yeah.
you for at least making an attempt to come out here.
Thanks for braving the storm.
Absolutely.
The
You
drip-
are
the drip of water
You
that's
are
coming out of the
truly a hero. Which actually, by the way, leads us to our next
Next
little
song,
bit.
because I'm gonna go pee while you're doing this.
Oh, awesome.
Full disclosure.
Feel free. Make sure you wash your
I
hands
like
before you
people
come
to
back here and try and
know
kiss me, okay?
Exactly what's going on.
So this one's called Heroes. It's a self-track. It's the
Title track.
It's the title track album off.
Easy for you to say.
So this track's called Heroes. It's the track title. This one's called Heroes. It's the title track.
Your legend never dies. See the fire.
Holy shit, lady. That was a monster. That was a monster.
Kenny Arnoff, man, that guy.
Love a
He's
monster
a
drummer.
bitch. He's a bitch.
Nicely done. The title track off Roni Lee's album, Heroes.
The Roni Lee
I
group.
think you're trying too hard.
Maybe, I don't know. I do that a
Well,
lot. I overcomplicate
Ronnie
things.
does that
But
too.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
thank you for
Boys.
proving again that not all heroes wear capes.
No,
That
they
was
don't.
glorious.
They don't.
They were play like a girl panties.
They were probably like a girl. Kim went and put her panties on. Thank God.
We're gonna
While
put
we
we're
were
gonna
on
put that
break.
up on the website
Yes,
too, so
please
all the
do.
listeners can see as well. They're
Please
glorious
do.
panties. You need to get your hand on some of
You
these too.
do. You do.
Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit about that song just real quick
Yes.
before we go on. What was the inspiration behind that? I mean, what inspires someone
Oh
who's
my
so
God.
inspirational?
Oh my God. Well, I have so many awesome stories, but my favorite memory is I played with Van Halen many nights at the Whiskey A Go Go, and I've seen so many. I've just had so many experiences in the late 70s, early 80s in Los Angeles, and they were just the inspiration for everything that I did. I would sit and watch, because being a girl, a lot of times, of course, we didn't have YouTube and anything like that.
Right.
So
You had to see it
learn
live.
how things were done, I just had to go. You had to go watch.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, people used to go out and watch bands back then. I know this is
Yeah.
weird. It's hard to conceive of. It's inconceivable, but
Crazy concept.
it does happen. And so we would go out and I would watch people play. And I've sat with Eddie Van Halen in the dressing room for many times, watching what he did and how people prepared. And we just, it was like the,
Was it Jack
honestly,
Daniels? I think back then. Maybe a bunch of Coke.
No,
That was just for breakfast.
We were just kids then. Coke was like Coca-Cola. But,
Soda.
right. It was soda. Yeah, pop.
So now,
Pop.
so we've already covered about you going to Germany in June.
Yes.
That's awesome. We actually have a few shows here that you're going to be touching right around here in our own backyard.
Absolutely.
In San Diego.
Los Angeles area, San Diego area, Las Vegas. That's my triad. And I shoot up to Seattle once in a while.
Yeah.
If you go to RoniLeeGroup.com and go to the tour little button there, I can't even remember where I'm playing. So, and in fact, when I tell people, musicians that are playing with me, I go, just go find out.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't
You have
you,
to get
even
that-
have the music video for Heroes up on your website too?
We
So
do with
if you want to see the
That's
music
Me
video for
and
that song.
And that video was a blast to record. We did it on top of a huge building in Los Angeles right when the sun was going down. It was so
Magic
cool.
Hour.
Magic. And so we're getting ready to do more videos, more music, more tours, and the train just keeps rolling,
Awesome.
And people say to me, "Why what are you trying to get to?" I go, "I'm just on a road, dude. I'm just on
Right.
the road." And not to wax too weird or anything, but this whole thing of becoming, well, once I get here, then I've made it, and it's not that. That is not the music industry. The music industry is just a road, man. And everything that happens that day, you got to kind of take that I'm not a Buddhist, but you got to take that approach of like, today is enough for me today. Just play the best you can play, do the best you can do, be involved, write music, just bury your head and just do your fucking job. So
And
Break
don't
your
do
leg.
drugs.
don't
Get
do
right
drugs.
back up on. Oh.
Well, that was
All right.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming out here and being
Thank
with
you
us,
guys.
Roni Lee.
You know what? You guys are making a difference too, because this is a big difference from the olden
Thank
days,
you.
if I want to say. This is where music goes out now. I do podcasts, and originally when we thought, what is this? Well, this is where this kind of music gets heard by you guys.
It's the new medium.
Thank you so much.
You're very
because you
welcome.
are
Thank
the
you.
medium.
If you guys
of
want to
music.
take a piece of Roni Lee home with you, you can
Please
definitely go
do.
out and check her. April 14th, actually, she's going to be up in Oceanside at the Moose.
That's actually a private party, but you can come anyway if you message me.
Can
Just
I?
crash it. They don't
You
mind.
can be on my guest list.
But,
Awesome.
then again, you got Huntington Beach on the 21st of April up at
Yeah.
Surf Dogs and
on.
Willie Boys Inland out in Morongo Valley. Man, you guys are
We
everywhere.
are everywhere, man.
That's right. And then, find an excuse to go to Germany and check them out in June, too.
I don't book a lot of stuff prior to our Europe tours because it's just a lot of preparation going on there. But we have a lot of stuff coming up afterwards, too. So
cool.
I'll be back.
Is Jules and crew going to be with you on these local shows, or do you hire bands in Oceanside, too?
For the most part, Jules, my Oceanside band, my Mission Valley band.
She's got her Crips,
one
her
for each area
Bloods,
code.
whatever.
My La Mesa boys.
What?
No, Jules is with me on most of them, but actually Lynn Sorensen is joining me on a couple too. And my drummer that I've been using, Steve Wilson, is amazing. He's from the Dead Kennedys.
I saw her.
If you see Steve play,
together.
you will pee. You'll
I think I
pee
have
on
seen
yourself.
Steve play a long time ago.
He's a monster. He's amazing. He's a funny guy.
It's another time.
He originally wanted a career as a comedy writer. So just to let you know.
You got to have a sense of humor if you're in the Dead Kennedys.
Drummers have to have a sense of humor because otherwise I just will knock them on the head with a tack hammer. And
and on that note,
kabong, El Kabong. Thank you, guys.
Done.
Thank you
so
for coming
much.
out, Ronnie Lee. I really, really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks for coming and sitting on the Dusty Futon.
Oh, man.
By the way,
Blast.
check out the Dusty Futon also on Facebook. The Dusty
Spotify.
Futon. Spotify. We're on Spotify now. We're on iTunes. Also, just on our regular old website, dustyfuton.com.
And a big thank you to Tyler for being our host of this episode, Spicy Kim for being our executive producer and co-host, Allie for being our assistant director / photographer / stenographer, and myself, Big John, as the engineer and odd commentary in the background, and apparently the butt of Roni Lee's jokes a few times. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Dusty Futon, a Big John Entertainment production. And make sure you subscribe to us on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you can find us. Go to dustyfuton.com to see all those locations. And on dustyfuton.com, you can check out every episode that the Dusty Futon has ever aired. And don't forget to check out Backstage360.com for some incredible information and editorials about bands coming to San Diego and all over the country. Thank you again for listening to this Big John Entertainment production and this episode of The Dusty Futon. We'll see you next week.